Good afternoon. My name is Kristen Connolly Polizzi. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, welcome to the 149th Commencement of St. Ursula Academy. At this time, we ask you to take your seats and remain seated for the procession of the class of 2021.
Good afternoon. I'm Mary Werner, President of St. Ursula Academy, and I welcome you to our commencement exercise. At this time, please stand for the national anthem and remain standing for the prayer of St. Angela and the invocation.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? We offer thee all our thoughts, words, and deeds, all that we possess from within and without. We lay them all at the feet of you, O God, asking for your mercy. Accept us as we are.
Thank you, Bella Voce singers. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Gracious and loving God, we thank you for the gift of the class of 2021. We are ever grateful for their arrow journeys. We pray that they continue to become the bold women leading with servants' hearts. We ask that each graduate has a love and a desire for your word and an unquenchable thirst for your presence in her life. May her heart be tender toward you. We pray that you would give her deep understanding of your truth. May you guide each graduate and help her to enliven hope in the world and bring joy and goodness to God's kingdom. May you bless each graduate with the courage of a hero. May her integrity be a gift to the world, serving and sacrificing for others around her. May you empower the class of 2021 to walk into the future with faith, hope, and a great love guided by your light, so that each one may use her talents heroically to, in the words of St. Angela Merici, strive to be faithful to that which God has called you. We ask this in your name, in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. You may be seated. Latin honors are determined by final cumulative GPA. Students are recognized for their academic achievement based on both GPA and academic integrity. The following graduates have achieved a grade point average of 4.000 to 4.199 and have earned the cum laude honor. Please stand when your name is read. We will recognize this accomplishment once all names are read. Annie Bennett, Madeline Bumpus, Dylan Champion, Nina Della Cuesta, Lily Dries, Lillian Fisher, Zoe Flores-Ray, Jenna Foose, Bailey Garno, Mary Gestalter, Sydney Hertigan, Jillian Kelly, Alexa Lajeunesse, Jordan Marinsky, Madison Michael Isaac, Drew Nisbet, Haley Patrick, Roya Rashid, Emily Savage, Haley Schmidt, Lily Schwartz, Simran Sharma, Miranda Sullivan, Senaba Cham, Samantha Wazinski. Congratulations. You may be seated. The following graduates have achieved a grade point average of 4.200 to 4.399 and have earned the magna cum laude honor. Please stand when your name is read. We will recognize this accomplishment once all names are called. Angelina Barone, Emma Caldwell, Kelly Felix, Alyssa Finch, Abigail Flores, Meredith Foster, Celia Fowler, Claire Heffernan, Caitlin Hines, Faith Hoffman, Madeline Maloney, Kelly Monahan, Allison Myers, Elizabeth Newsome, Tiari Nicholas Bublik, Serena O'Loughlin, Demetra Pappas, Catherine Polizzi, Maria Richard, Kalina Sears, Madeline Timmerman, Abigail Terrell, and Abigail Wilson. Congratulations. You may be seated. At this time, I am honored to present the summa cum laude honor students who have achieved a grade point average of 4.400 or higher. For the class of 2021, I ask each girl to stand to be recognized. Molly Dinda. Olivia LeBlanc. Shelby Muntz. Kate Reimer. And Jayla Russell. From this group of talented young women, 2 students were selected to give the final speeches to their classmates. At this time, I invite Jayla Russell to the podium. Please welcome her as she gives her address, looking back. Jayla?
Thank you, Mrs. Flores, Mrs. Hayes, Mrs. Polizzi, Mrs. Warner, Mrs. Hebner, Mrs. Sears, Mrs. Porter, faculty, family, friends, and especially my fellow classmates, the St. Ursula class of 2021. It is my honor to be standing before you delivering this speech. 4 years ago, we entered St. Ursula as freshmen. I remember my sweaty palms and the butterflies in my stomach. Today, I stand here with those same feelings, wondering how 4 years flew away so fast. As I reflect on my past years at St. Ursula, I want to share with you trends and moments that stuck out to me. As freshmen, we stood outside watching the eclipse. And if you are like me, you contemplated peeking at the sun. As sophomores, the world turned upside down, especially after our interesting retreat. People were eating Tide Pods, obsessing over the yodeling boy in Walmart, and trying to get the tune of Baby Shark out of their heads. As juniors, TikTok made its debut, and some people rushed to buy Hydro Flasks, Crocs, and scrunchies. Later that year, on March 12, 2020, Governor DeWine announced that we would need to stay home for 3 weeks. As we rushed down the hallways, excited for an early spring break, I wish we had known that was the last time we would be together before senior year. During that time, we adapted. We learned the life of Zoom, dealt with being away from loved ones and friends, and so much more. Some of us learned how to make whipped coffee, while others tried their hand at a Chloe Ting workout. As seniors, we came into the year knowing things would be different, but we persevered. We applied to colleges and got into amazing schools. Now, as soon-to-be high school graduates, we can look back at each of those experiences in awe. From the wise words of Dr. Seuss, "Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened." The class of 2021 has overcome so much in such a short period of time. Each of you is innovative, resilient, and hardworking. Above all adversity, you made it to the finish line. For all of this, you deserve a round of applause. Thank you to the teachers for providing me with support and space to grow into who I am today. To our families and friends, thank you for supporting us through some of the hardest years of our lives. Finally, thank you, seniors, for being sisters to me. I thank you for the endless laughs we shared, the bonds we made over hard classes and stress, and for simply being you. As I look out, I see the same rowdy freshmen who claimed last at intramurals as if it were first. I also see a group of 123 beautiful and strong women. Enjoy today, because this is the goal we have been working toward for 13 years. As we close the door to high school and open the door to a new adventure, I want you to know I'm extremely proud of each and every one of you. I cannot wait to see who you all will become. As Mrs. Rohde always says, this is our journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Jayla. And now I invite Shelby Muntz to the podium. Please welcome Shelby as she gives the second student address, Looking Forward.
Thank you, Mrs. Flores, Mrs. Hayes, Mrs. Polizzi, Mrs. Werner, Mrs. Huebner, Mrs. Sears, Mrs. Porter, faculty, family, friends, and class of 2021. Women are not naturally inferior to men. This is a principle by which Mary Shelley lived her life. She knew that, both by nature and by education, she was equal to her husband and male contemporaries, and this sentiment is something we all must carry forward. When Mary Godwin found herself married to Percy Shelley, a man who expected her to obey his expectations for marriage while ignoring her own, she was faced with two choices. She could believe herself to be less than her husband and comply with his aversion to monogamy, or she could remind herself of her worth and refuse to settle. Mary Shelley knew better than to follow a man blindly because she knew that she was not less than her husband. Moving forward, when we are put in uncomfortable positions, we must remember, we are strong, educated, empowered young women. We cannot let others push us down because they think they have a right to. They do not. The Romantic era during which Shelley lived encouraged imagination. In fact, Mary Shelley, on a weekend trapped indoors with two influential poets, her husband Percy and Lord Byron, was challenged to write a ghost story for a friendly competition. Thus, the creature of Victor Frankenstein's design was born. Look around at your classmates. You are surrounded by people who challenge you each and every day. This is what led Mary Shelley to write one of the first science fiction novels. She was surrounded by brilliant writers, so she had to be imaginative. She had to show off a bit. Each of us needs to follow Mary Shelley's example and surround ourselves with peers who encourage us to think bigger. Maybe we won't end up writing a piece of classic literature, but one of us could, when placed in a competitive environment, make a breakthrough in psychology or spark an exciting business venture. Whatever it is you're doing, don't be afraid to break away from traditional to try something new. That's exactly how Mary Shelley found so much success. We're all moving on to a new chapter of our education. Whether in Hawaii, Florida, or Toledo, each of us has such an exciting future. We're going to be put in new scenarios where we must remind ourselves that we are no less worthy than our male counterparts, and where we will learn not to be afraid of healthy competition. As we close this exciting and unpredictable last year together, I know that one thing we've been told since our first day at St. Ursula holds true. We are Arrow Sisters for life, and I am immeasurably proud of each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shelby and Jayla. I am pleased to introduce our commencement speaker. Jennifer Umbles Hayes, Esquire, is a native of Toledo, Ohio, and a proud alumna of St. Ursula Academy's class of 1986. She is the daughter of the late Clayton E. Humbles and Joyce Wood Sansbury. Ms. Hayes is a graduate of Howard University College of Pharmacy and Howard University School of Law. Ms. Hayes received a Master of Laws in Intellectual Property Law from the George Washington University Law School in May of 2002, and a Master of Science in Pharmaceutical Sciences from the University of Florida in May 2021. Ms. Hayes is also currently enrolled in the Pharmaceutical Sciences PhD program at Howard University with a concentration in medicinal chemistry. She is a member of the Maryland State Bar, the District of Columbia Bar, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit, and the United States Supreme Court. Having a background in both science and law, Ms. Hayes is a patent attorney and principal of the firm Jordan IP Law, LLC. Ms. Hayes leads JIPL's pharmaceutical, biotechnological, and life sciences, and chemical and materials practice groups, where she focuses on patent procurement, patent portfolio strategies, counseling, and opinions, and specializes in pharmaceutical, chemical, biotech, and material science arts. Ms. Hayes also worked at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office as a patent examiner and as a petitions attorney in the Office of Petitions. She has traveled extensively to Europe and Asia to visit clients and give lectures on topics of interest related to U.S. patent law. Prior to entering the area of patent law, Ms. Hayes was a registered pharmacist in the state of Maryland and employed and involved in the practice of pharmacy. Ms. Hayes is a longstanding member of Ebenezer AME Church in Fort Washington, Maryland, and serves in the community as a member of the Top Ladies of Distinction, Prince George's County chapter, and as Eddie's Angel with the Edith P. Wright Breast Cancer Foundation. She's also on the engagement committee for the Ladies of Howard University. Ms. Hayes has contributed to a blog published by Black Women Widows Empowered, and she is also a member of Premature Widow LLC, the Pierian's Prince George's County chapter. She is the mother of 3 children and has 1 grandchild. Please join me in welcoming Jennifer Umbles Hayes to give our commencement address.
Good afternoon. I don't, all those different, I don't know who they're talking about. I'm not even old enough to have done all those things. Thank you to everyone, all the distinguished guests here on the podium, and to you wonderful graduates, parents, and guests out there. I don't recall all the names that the other young ladies mentioned, but thank you all. I'm very grateful and humbled to be here, my hometown of Toledo, Ohio, with the class of 2021 from my alma mater, St. Ursula Academy. I consider it a privilege and an honor to have been invited here to speak to you today for such an important and momentous occasion. I was so honored I said yes immediately, and then I started thinking after I got off the phone, what have I done? Why did I say that? How am I going to inspire these young ladies? What can I say to them? Pretty much the only thing I think that I can probably tell you is the impact that having an education from St. Ursula had for me, and what the relationships and friendships that I developed at St. Ursula during my years there have meant to me, and hopes that you will find the same or more value in your education that you have also received here. I didn't know it back then, but I was privileged. And I believe that once you go out into your next chapters, you will see that you are privileged as well to have had an education that you received here at St. Ursula. Growing up in Toledo, I lived in Westmoreland. I walked to school to go to JZU, and then later on came to St. Ursula with many of my friends from JZU. I lived amongst some of the most accomplished doctors, nurses, lawyers, educators, community leaders, their families, their children. And they all had similar we all had a similar work ethic and what they taught us all. So our community was kind of pretty much the same. After I got great education at JZU as well as St. Ursula, not just academically, but I was also taught self-discipline, the importance of good work ethic, faith, and service to others. These were also things that I was taught at home, and that I saw exemplified in my family and my community. My father was a graduate of the University of Toledo College of Pharmacy. My mother was a graduate of the University of Toledo College of Law. They were among those accomplished professionals and leaders of the community, and they provided that great environment for us, a great home, a great environment in neighborhoods to live in, and excellent education. And for that, I'd like to thank them, even though they're not here today. And you guys could probably thank your parents as well for what they have provided for you. I come before you, though. I was just an average student. I don't have any of the accolades that you all have when I was at St. Ursula. Never was a valedictorian or salutatorian or principals on the principals list or making it to the Latin system to be in the top of the class. I don't think I graduated with any kind of honors whatsoever. I wasn't a member of the National Honor Society or any of that. I was just a regular average student. Some may say I may have overcompensated a little bit with my post-high school education, maybe to be on par with my older sister, who was also a graduate of St. Ursula, class of 1980, if there's anybody in the house from there. and my brother, who went to DeVilbiss, both of whom were National Honor Society members. I don't know if that's true or not, but I didn't set out with the idea of going to school for the rest of my life. I can tell you that. When it was time for me to start looking into what I was going to do after St. Ursula, I told my mother I could just stay home and work at Wendy's. I didn't need to go to college. My mother said, absolutely not. You will go to college somewhere. So that was that. I whimsically applied to various colleges, and I was accepted at some very prestigious schools. I had scholarship offers as well, and we had come down to the point where we decided I was going to go to Purdue University, be a Boilermaker. I had a partial scholarship offer to Purdue, and about 2 weeks before I was supposed to head off to Purdue, an offer from Howard came in for a full scholarship, room, board, tuition, the works. And I said to my mother, too bad I didn't get this sooner. I'm going to Purdue now. And she said, no, you're not. You're going to go to Howard. And that was that. So that's how I ended up at Howard, the Mecca, as we Howardites call it. The only and the first HBCU that can lay claim to a graduate who is the first woman vice president of the United States of America, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. For me, though, going to Howard was part of a family legacy. I'm the 6th person in 2 generations on my mother's side to attend Howard University. Some of you may have heard of Toni Morrison, another famous Howard alumna, who just happens to be my cousin. I knew her as Chloe. She was the first of the family to attend Howard University, followed by my uncle, my mother's brother, and my aunt, my mother's sister. And then in the next generation, my uncle's daughter and my aunt's daughter also attended Howard, and then me. 2 of us actually have 2 degrees from Howard. My one cousin has a BS and an MD, and I have a BS and a JD. She and I actually roomed together when she was starting her MD and I was finishing my BS. So I was partying and she was studying hard. It's quite an interesting time. It was to the point where my grandmother, who was in her 80s at the time that I graduated from law school, said, I'm not going up that hill anymore for any more Howard graduations. I've been to enough. And she had. I actually started out at Howard as an undecided in terms of my major. I really didn't know what I wanted to do. And there may be some of you who are undecided, although I highly doubt it, but it may be possible that some of you are undecided. And if you are, it's okay. You have some time to find out what really interests you, what you're really good at, where your passion is. You don't have a lot of time, though, because as parents, we want every credit to go towards a degree. We don't kind of care which one, but we want every credit to go towards a degree. So you have about maybe a semester or 1 or 2 quarters. But I didn't even know or ever plan to go to pharmacy school and then law school, much less be a patent attorney. I made the decision to go to pharmacy school because I felt like becoming a doctor was going to take too long, at least 8 years, way too long. So I chose pharmacy school, which was a 5-year program, and I thought that was still too long, but I was willing to go ahead and do that instead. I had grown up around my father's pharmacy and the pharmacists that he worked with, and thankfully my chemistry teacher here at St. Ursula, Sister Mary Jean, saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and she encouraged me and convinced me to take advanced chemistry in my senior year. So I was well prepared for the heavy chemistry-related curriculum that was required to go to pharmacy school. I actually got the opportunity to thank her for that. Back in about, I think it was 1998, I had received an Outstanding Alumna Award from St. Ursula, and I was able to thank Sister Jean for what she sewed into me in giving me the opportunity to take that advanced chemistry class. Although I enjoyed the pharmacy curriculum and working in the pharmacy, I could see that the community element that I had been used to growing up around my father's pharmacy was not there in the big retail settings that we currently see now. It had been decades since I grew up there and was now in pharmacy school, and things had changed. So I started looking at other things I might want to do, and I settled on law school. Again, it was my mother's advice who helped me to choose Howard as the law school, because again, I had a scholarship from another school I was going to attend on a part-time basis while I worked, and I had a full scholarship from Howard, and she said, that makes no sense, go to Howard. That was that. My mother was also the one who suggested to me that I become a patent attorney, My mother was an attorney, and she told me that patent attorney is one of the true specialties in law, because you have to actually take a separate bar in addition to the state bar to become a patent attorney. So I actually started looking into that, and I found that I could use my science degree and my law degree, and that just made sense to me. So again, I have to thank my mother for helping me make good decisions. I have continued to go on learning throughout my career, and yes, I did receive master's in law and a master's in pharmaceutical science, and I'm still currently in a PhD program. You all pray for me on that. My brain doesn't really work the way it used to at this age. But your generation is different from me. I kind of whimsically fell into a lot of different things. I think they call you Generation Z, the generation of cell phones and tablets and iPads and social media and instant gratification. You want it all, and you're used to getting it right now. I have seen it with my own children and other youth, high school and college students that I mentor or work with. My youngest child just graduated from college last week. She's a part of class of 2021. She wasn't like me. Like many of you, she was focused, determined, and knew what she wanted to do from the very beginning. She had a plan and she stuck to it. She went off to college and did everything she wanted to do and more. She started out with tryouts in the band, and she had never been in a band before. She tried out for the flag team. She had never touched a flag. She made it, and from there on, there was no stopping her. She graduated, like I said, last week with a BS in forensic biology, minor in chemistry, magna cum laude. She also missed out on part of her junior and senior year experience, just like your class, because of COVID-19. But as a class, the class of 21 in general has adjusted and persevered through an unprecedented time. Your class has not only survived a global health pandemic, but you have excelled, despite having to suddenly take courses online last year, missing out on prom, delaying getting your license, which is very important, and many other traditional events that you look forward to as juniors and seniors in high school. You completed the year last spring, and you came back as seniors in the fall with a vengeance. You have been able to attend classes in person this year, prom, intramurals, participate in the Breast Cancer Bowl with students from other Catholic high schools, and we are here today for an in-person graduation. I'll tell you, in Maryland, there was no in-person school until the very, very end, and then it was just like maybe a couple of other days. And so that's amazing that you all were able to make it and that you survived, and that this has happened here at St. Ursula. Also, you came back as seniors to have the most college applications and acceptances in St. Ursula history. That's major, and you should give yourselves a hand. You did not let the challenge of COVID-19 to keep you from achieving your goals. As young women, you will face additional challenges in school and your careers that you will have to overcome. Unfortunately, in 2021, there are still challenges of the old boys networks, glass ceilings to be broken, gender pay inequity, lack of diversity and inclusion, and work-life family balance issues. But don't let any of that deter you or stop you from doing or achieving whatever it is that you want to do. Don't be afraid to give it your all. Don't ever be too afraid or so afraid of failure or rejection that you don't even try. And if things don't go your way, because there may be times that will happen, you don't give up. You keep pushing. It's not always going to be easy. Lord knows I have had my share of challenges, failures, and rejections. But when challenges come your way, you just have to try again and try harder. There are so many more great and varied opportunities today for young women. You can really be and do whatever you want to be and do. Women are everywhere and doing everything, and that is exactly where you as women belong. This is your time to go for what you want and take full advantage of every opportunity that comes your way. Whether you are going to a community college, a trade school, the military, a four-year college or university, taking a gap year, or just taking time for you, you give it your best and put your best foot forward. As members of the graduating class of St. Ursula, I already know that you are hard workers. And I'll tell you like I told my own children when they were going off to college. Seek God first. Always pray and ask God for guidance and direction daily and in all that you say and do, and He will direct your path. Know that you have been prepared for this. You have everything that you need. For every challenge that may come your way, you have been given all the tools to face it and to overcome. For every goal that you set, you have been prepared to achieve it. Have faith in yourself and trust in God. Remember that the race is not given to the swift, but to those that endure to the end. You may experience a setback or two, but get up and keep going the next day. Don't quit. And last but not least, we want you to go off, meet new people, make new friends, get involved on campus, get involved in campus life and enjoy yourself, but do your work first. I'm a big Whitney Houston fan, and one of my favorite songs is the Olympic anthem, One Moment in Time, which talks about striving every day to do and to be your best, giving it your all and seizing that one moment in time to be more than you thought you could be. I urge you all to look it up on YouTube if you don't already know it. This is your one moment in time. Make it shine. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hayes, for sharing your wisdom and experience and being a great role model for the class of 2021. Each senior has worked hard to come to this day. Each path has been unique. For some, it was meeting academic standards. For others, it was meeting the standards they set for themselves. For still others, it was facing personal goals that seemed insurmountable at times. Whatever the challenge, each has come to this day and has earned the reward of this day. We ask that you hold your applause until after the presentation of the class of 2021. Molly Elizabeth Dinda. Olivia Renee LeBlanc. Shelby Maisie Muntz. Kate Emma Reamer. Jayla Monique Russell. Annie Morgus Bennett. Catherine Connolly Polizzi. Serena Genevieve O'Loughlin. Angelina Elizabeth Barone. Catherine Marie Baumgartner. Carly Ann Beatty. Marina Elise Black. Olivia Black. Taylor Faye Boyer. Hannah Vivian Buck. Madeline Frances Rose Bumpus. Aaliyah Sydney Marie Bush. Emma Catherine Caldwell. Allie Marie Carrick. Audrey Elizabeth Caesar. Gabrielle Mary Kolupnik. Dylan Quan Champion. Macy Ann Crowell. Emma Caroline Collis. Sophie Michelle Curran. Nina Noel De La Cuesta. Olivia Ann Delverne. Sarah Marina Demchik. Mia Isabella Digby. Grace Neve Downey. Amanda Jean Dries. Lily Noel Dries. Sadie Del Ducat. Kelly Lynn Felix. Alyssa Marie Finch. Lillian Ashley Fisher. Abigail Marie Flores. Zoe Juana Anita Flores Ray. Jenna Rose Foos. Ava Christina Forrester. Meredith Ann Foster. Celia Lane Fowler. Bailey Grace Garno. Jillian Grace Glore. Karina Grace Goldsmith. Mary Chun Ni Gestalder. Bailey Kennedy Hyduke. Sydney Elise Hertigan. Claire Marie Heffernan. Caitlin Rebecca Hines. Emma Danielle Hennessy. Lainey Elizabeth Hurl. Ashley Marie Hill. Faith Anne Marie Hoffman. Kathleen Ann Hurley. Ania Renee Jackson. Micaiah Ali Jackson. Mackenzie Elizabeth Jagodzinski. Corinne Margaret Jetty. Lila Ann Kallman. Molly Elizabeth Kalecki. Jillian Grace Kelly. Lillian Lee Kramer. Alexa Faith Lajeunesse. Erica Ann Loth. Alexia Marie Lewinsky. Caitlin Jane Long. Sophie Marie Mahaffey. Amelia Rose Maybaugh. Madeline Amelia Maloney. Jordan Nicole Marinsky. Emma Catherine Martin. Mackenzie Zane McClellan. Chloe Brianna McPhillips. Madison Amber Michael Isaac. Twinkle Rakesh Mystery. Kelly Marie Monahan. Allison Houston Myers. Elizabeth Mary Newsom. Tiare Crystal Nicholas Bublick. Drew Anna Nisbet. Gwendolyn Helen No. Bria Ilasia Norwood. Mariah Lynn Elizabeth Oberhaus. Lucy Riley Oglesby. Lily Elizabeth Olson. Caitlin Abigail Ortiz. Marie Catherine Panfil. Demetra Victoria Pappas. Haley Rose Patrick. Jada Nicole Powers. Layla Renee Pryor. Carolyn Grace Pilipuk. Roya Persia Rashid. Maria Rose Richard. Paige Catherine Roberts. Emily Grace Savage. Haley Jean Schmidt. Lily Dunbar Schwartz. Maria Gabrielle Shannon. Simran Sharma. Jasmine Lene Schumann. Kalina Frances Nicole Sears. Mina Marie Skomer. Emma Marie Stammen. Corinne Louise Stannert. Alyssa Ellen Stebley. Miranda Grace Sullivan. Millie Grace Lucille Soroka. Isabel Marie Sendersky. Senaba Chum. Olivia Alexandria Marie Thornton. Madeline Lynn Timmerman. Lucille Grace Turner. Abigail Mackenzie Terrell. Taylor Nicole Walterite. Kennedy Joe Warnicki. Jakaya Lynn Warren. Gabrielle Marie Witzel. Samantha Lynn Wazinski. Abigail Rosemary Wilson. Anne-Marie Frances Robleski. Stella Elizabeth Yaki. In addition to the diplomas, we also have 3 special awards to present this afternoon. The first award is the Bishop's Cross. This award was first given by Bishop Gilmore at St. Ursula Academy's 1873 graduation ceremony. The center of the cross has the coat of arms of our current bishop, Bishop Daniel Thomas. The Bishop's Cross is given to a senior who has shown outstanding participation in all religious expressions of the school, has maintained an A or B average in theology, has exhibited an attitude of cooperation and enthusiastic support for the school's effort to build a caring, honest community, and has participated outside the school in religious projects and groups. The 2021 Bishop's Cross is awarded to Sydney Hertigan. St. Ursula Academy is awarding the St. Angela Award for the 34th year. The Ursuline sisters were founded by Angela Merici in Italy in 1535. The Ursulines have a rich heritage in educating young women who will take their place in society as model Christian leaders. Angela Merici had a strong belief in the importance of Christian living with attitudes, values, and actions based on charity. Her life was one of service, friendship, advice, care, compassion, and concern for others. We would like to recognize this young woman who, in an outstanding manner, exemplifies these same characteristics and qualities of Angela Merici. The recipient of the St. Angela Award for 2021 is Maria Richard. Our final award is the Marianne Guger Award. Marianne Guger graduated from St. Ursula Academy in 1969. She was the kind of person who was always there to help with any school project and gave generous amounts of time to her school and emulated school spirit. Marianne died just 1 year after her graduation. In her honor, a Spirit Service Award was established for graduates who best exemplify Mary Ann's spirit and dedication to St. Ursula Academy. Many seniors here today have been generous with their time in areas such as student council, class office, concert choir, musical, clubs, core team, intramurals, athletic teams, and service projects. We thank each of you who have given so generously of your time. This year, the Mary Ann Guger Award is presented to Annie Bennett and Catherine Polizzi.
The class of 2021 now joins the ranks of over 9,700 St. Ursula Academy graduates. You came in as our students, and you leave here as sisters. Will the class of 2021 please stand? In recognition of your status as graduates, the class of 2021 may change the tassel on your mortarboard. Tassels go from right to left so that the tassel sits over the heart where you hold the love you have for your school. It is our honor to present these beautiful daughters, the class of 2021. We ask the graduates, faculty, and alumni to stand for the alma mater.
Friendships formed are cherished as years go by. Scenes of happy days. Today we sing our praise anew. The loyalty to the gold and blue and our own SUA. St. Ursula, our own love gold and blue. Across the years of memories, our hearts go out to you.
Don't forget to tell them where to meet their friends.
Okay. Thank you all. please remain in your seats as the class of 2021 exits. But I'll give you a hint. We are going to be headed to the soccer fields, and if you want to, you can join us out on the soccer field. They will be in the bleachers, and we're going to get a class picture. So with that, thank you. What? Oh, toss your hats. Cue music.
Did you want your program? Excuse me, Mary.
We're not leaving here until the music.
We want that music. Thank you.